We can go.
Thank you.
My internet is really low.
I can see.
Okay, so I'm just trying to kickstart it. Once I kickstart it and you're in, you can just take it away.
Okay.
So it's just spinning at the moment. Yes, yes, Dr. Abu. If I drop out there, continue. It's just to get us in. No, we're not in yet. It's just spinning.
Oh dear.
It's just
We'll
spinning my
have to
end. I've
talk
only
to
got
each
one
other.
bite. Saying check internet connection. Let me try again.
Right.
Wow. I don't know if the audience can hear us, but it's live on our part, you know. It's
Well,
live on
yes,
our
we're certainly present. And I mean, it's a good topic, especially in view of all of this, whatever they call the conference, the climate conference in Glasgow, where them come from the foolishness that them always a talk and no doing, you know. And then so many of our people just believe and think that the people serious. They've never been serious ever.
no serious thing, you know. Just to
Exactly.
make the family know that Sister Shanice is having some technical problem
Yes.
on her end, you know. So if so, we'll continue the discussion, you know.
That's right. That's right. And people feel free to put comments in the chat.
Yeah. You know, the whole thing about it, you know, is true is not using other people platform, you know.
Yes.
And this is why we have really organized, where we can know that the vehicle that we are on, we are safe.
Indeed, I agree 100%. But I understand that there's a few African-owned platforms that are coming into being that can be looked at.
And this is the thing, we have to find them and support them.
Indeed. And I mean, another thing though is, I do personally believe that there needs to be more collective working, so that the burden of financing these things doesn't fall on any one group of people or individuals. And it's something that we have a big problem with. Financing the things that we need in our community and coming on board to support. I mean, there's so many, I mean, I don't know if people know, but I'm a membership liaison officer for the African Cooperative Union and also Global African Congress, and I help with the Black Cultural Archives in Brixton as a board member. We have to support the things and stop just talking and talking.
True, man.
Shanice.
Yeah. Sister Shanice, can you hear us?
But when we started, because I logged on at 7:45 and we were talking,
But I think the whole thing about it, you have to just do your presentation.
Yes.
Because we're running live, but I think Sister Shanice is having some technical problem.
Well, community, this evening we're going to be talking, well, you've seen the topic from the flyer, and we're going to be talking about Africa. It can either reform educationally or it's going to die. And, we have to uproot the unproductive nature of the education that our people, our children are receiving. Otherwise, we are never going to become a free and self-determined people. I want to share a quick quote, two quotes, in fact, with you. We have the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, who told us that a people without a knowledge of their own history, origin, and culture are like a tree without root. Now, everybody knows that a tree without root is torn dead and can't do nothing. Now, the other quote that I want to share with you is from a book called 2000 Seasons by Ayekwe Ama. It's a Ghanaian scholar.
My
He has written
internet
a
is just
number of
slowly.
books. There's Why Are We So Blessed? Osiris Rising, 2000 Seasons. Now, I love 2000 Seasons. And when I read that book, it directs you as to what we as a people should be doing to contribute to getting rid of the destroyers. He terms them the destroyers.
It's chopping in and out. Major difficulties hearing.
Oh, really?
No problem, Sister Shanice. We're going through. We're going through.
Keep the community happy.
Continue, Empress and Zinga.
Yes. So in his quote for 2000 Season, he says, nothing good can be created which does not push forward the destruction of the destroyer. We Africans must turn every utterance against the whiteness of destruction's sway. So basically, when we're talking, we need to be talking about how we're going to put an end to these people who have been exploiting and oppressing us for so long. And, you know, you cannot emancipate yourself with a deformed education, an education that isn't linked to who you are as a people, that isn't linked to your ancestry, that isn't linked to the strategies that we need to bring into being to create ourselves as a new person, a free and self-determining people with a new mindset, with a vision of the future that we want for our people, but not just having the vision, bringing that vision into being. You know, for years, I know Dr. Abu also can verify this. We've been talking about we must have school, we must have this, you are the person that's going to provide it. Nobody is coming here to give you no grant to provide a school that is going to educate you to defeat them. So for me, the important thing that I want to get across to people today, and I know we're talking about Africa specifically, but the truth is we also have a responsibility to share knowledge, to share books, to share artifacts with our people, whether they're in the Caribbean or on the continent. I'll give you an example. When I went to, myself and Sister Wynne, we went to Kenya in 2009, and we stayed in a nice hotel in Nairobi. And we met up with some activists and had, you know, we did some drumming with them. I did some poetry and what have you. And they were amazed at the literature that we had and the knowledge that we had. So when I came back, I don't know if many of you have seen those big posters by Conscious Print. African historians, great heroes and sheroes, blacks in science, great kings and queens. I bought every single one, and it cost me £30 at the time, this is 2009, to post it to a Sister Ogutu in Kenya so that she could use it, and she was translating it for the women. She worked with women and children in a community project. So she was, I mean, I have the thank you where she sent me right here now on my bookshelf. You know, it's about us sharing information. If we want our people's mind to be liberated, we have to take charge of helping to foster that. It's not just going to happen out of the blue. I'm going to let Dr. Abu come in now, and I will then come back with a little more later.
Give thanks, Empress and Zinga. I could sit here all evening listening to you. You know, what I'm saying is so true. You understand? If we don't Africate ourselves, then the work will be in vain. And because all the education that we have is to serve someone else.
That's right.
You understand, you know? And that's why it's hard for us to even work as a collective, because we are so educated in his thing. You understand? You know, we have been governed. You know, it's like a vehicle that goes 100 miles, but then govern it to 25.
Yes.
You understand? So it's doing all of that revving, but it ain't going nowhere. You understand? You know?
Indeed.
As you were saying earlier on, you know, in backstage, you know, one of my prophet, you say prophet out there, Carter G. Woodson, Amos Wilson. You understand, you know?
The real warrior them.
Yeah. They really touch it, because we have people with degree, with masters, with PhD, with you name it. You understand? But it's not driving our vehicle. You understand? You know, it's not driving our vehicle. It's like we wear the T-shirt because we are on a team, but we don't own the team. You understand? You know, we're just participating to what I said, to make sure that other people things work well. That's what we do, you know. We're very good at that. We're very good at that. If you see how we work, sometimes we work overtime just to make the man things, you understand? And we doesn't give a little of our time for our thing.
That's right.
You understand? So what you're saying is true, Empress. What you're saying is true. We have to, what I said, I wouldn't say we have to fix ourselves. I said we have to restore ourselves.
Indeed.
Because over the years, they have fixed us. They have fixed us. We have been fixed so much that sometimes we come out talking as if we are French. Sometimes we come out talking as if we are German. You know, we're talking as if we are brutish. Or, you understand? And that's part of their fixing. You know? We have to invest in our people, home and abroad, you know? You know, the other day, I don't know if some of the people in my ear, we call them young, new voice of Sakuta, some young people appealing to the population of Gambia for peace. But then put it out in a kind of poetry. You understand? And, you know, we here in the UK sponsor that, you know, invest in that, support that, you know, and these are the things then, because if we're saying that our people must wake up, we have it said home and abroad, because the colonial virus affects us wherever we are. I was speaking to a brethren in Mexico. A lot of African brother in Mexico, but they don't see themselves as African. They see themselves as Latino.
Yes, indeed.
And none of them speak Latin. You understand? And this is what the education have done to us. The miseducation, we miss our direction.
Indeed.
We miss our vibration. We miss our frequency. We miss, and we even miss our magic.
Indeed.
Our magic is in our African spirituality. Vodum sis, Vodum Empress.
That's right. In fact, I'm going to give them a quote again now from Carter G. Woodson. You know, let me just suggest the books, because I always like to tell people, go and read for yourself. And then it's not read to talk about, oh, you know this and you know that. It's read to join the work and to look at how you can use whatever knowledge you acquire to begin to participate in the emancipating our people from mental slavery, whether it's in your family, in whatever social circle you're in your community. That is your role here. You know, come here and just sit down and watch people television with some whole heap of nonsense on it. You are here to be part of the work. You know, when you look at that historical damage that has been done to our people, Namibia, the Germans poisoned and massacred so many. Zimbabwe, Azania, South Africa, Mozambique, all over Angola, you know, not to mention those nasty, vicious Belgians in the Congo.
Yep.
And then the removal of us from our continent to deposit us all over the world as just as them please. And even now, nothing has been done about it by these people. So you see, we are the people that is going to develop services that make us emancipated from mental slavery and become a free and self-determining people. Garvey told us always that we must put our race first, and nothing must come between us and the work that we need to do to advance our race and our development and our people. So let me just tell you what Carter G. Woodson said. In 1933, he wrote the book, The Miseducation of the Negro, although we don't use the term Negro, but that's the title of the book. So if you go online to look for it, and it is a book of worth, you know, it directs you and it tells you what your problem is and what the problem is of our scholars and our teachers, because everybody wants to be white and we're not white and we will never be white, you know. So we need to undo the mind, the mental chains that in our minds. Anyway, he has this to say. The African education has been distorted and our history has been falsified. This has been depriving our children and our people of our true place in the world and denies us our heritage. This, according to Carter G. Woodson, has relegated our people to a nothingness and a nobodiness. Clearly then, our education systems, wherever we are in the world, must focus on freeing our minds and creating a framework for our development and for our advancement so that we become an independent, free, self-determined people with our own nation and the strategies for us to become once again the wonderful and powerful people who created the first civilizations on this planet. Now, the importance of the education system on the continent of Africa changing so that the agenda for that education meets the needs of our people is crucial to our liberation. There's a sister, her name is Sylvia Arthur, and she was born here in Britain, but she's of Ghanaian parentage. And she has gone to Ghana and set up 3 Pan-African libraries in different parts. And she was on the Pan-African Society Community Forum, had her do a talk. I don't remember if it was earlier this year or late last year. And she was telling us how we could support that work that she's doing. She's financing this herself and getting people to make donations of books, Pan-African books, books that's going to emancipate the mindset of our people. Who is giving her trouble? The middle-class Black Anglo-Saxons, yes? They don't want books about Black people. They want Shakespeare. They want books from Enid Blyton. Now, it just shows you how sick our mindset is. Somebody is bringing you good food to nurture you, to enhance your mind, and you want to reject it for some nonsense that has absolutely nothing to do with you. You know, we're in a serious condition. So until the education in terms of, in fact, everything, Garvey said we must get knowledge in science, in technology, in spirituality, in every avenue of life, we must get knowledge, because knowledge equals power. And when you're powerful, you don't need to be at nobody's beck and call like the current leadership that we have across the world. Nobody don't even pay them no mind. The other day, they had a climate justice summit in Glasgow. The main speakers, African people? Was it African people telling them how they want it to go? Or people just come with a little begging bowl for get the little crumbs where them a give? No, man, we have to fix up. And in fact, as a people here in the UK, in the Caribbean, America, wherever we are, we need now to take responsibility for challenging the leadership that is destroying our people, because this is what they're doing. They're creaming off the best part of everything for themselves. Our young people need proper education. They need proper health care. They need proper nurturing so that they become free and self-determining and strong. And that is something that we all have to begin to tackle now, and not just to say, Lord, this is happening here, this is happening there. It needs to stop. And if we don't deal with it, well, we are all going to suffer the consequences. I'm telling you now. Mark my words. Thank you.
Serious thing, Empress. Serious thing. And it's sure how we are being miseducated.
Indeed.
Because if we can't even move to a collective, we're good as an individual. Good with this personal savior, because we love this like a personal thing.
Yes.
Personal savior, personal train, not alone. But we can't see it on a collective. You understand? And this is to show you and to show us. Because we always talk about look at that one, look at that one, look at that one.
Indeed.
But their educational system is intact. If you go and look at the Philippines, educational system is intact.
Indeed.
Within their own cultural needs, the Japanese, all of them. You understand? But our people, we're in a state of denial because we refuse, you understand, to see the addiction that we are in.
It is an addiction, indeed.
You understand? I'm telling you, sis, we refuse, see it, and we can't look and say, oh, because he's poor. You have some of the rich, them is more addicted than. The truth, me I tell you. You're talking about the middle class. The middle class, I'm telling you, none of the middle class never come to the grassroots aid. It's always the grassroots running to the middle class.
That's
aid.
right.
I'm telling you.
Oh, it's the truth.
The middle class and the middle class could never run to the middle class neither. You understand? Because they don't have support. I see someone in the upper class. They couldn't even run to their upper class friends up there. They have to come back down to the grassroots. You understand? So we can't look down on our people. We should be uplifting our people. And that is the whole way of how you can see the miseducation.
That's right.
You know, see it. And within the miseducation, they give us some commercial happiness.
That's right.
You understand? And within that commercial happiness, it's become seasonal. So we move from everyday people to seasonal people. You understand?
And just on Sunday, I brought up the fact that I don't know if you know him, Brother Abu, but I used to go to lectures because they used to bring all kind of speakers here. Shaka Musa Barashango.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
Now, I remember, in fact, I had the 2 books that he wrote. Well, he's written other books, but these 2 specifically. African People and European Holidays, A Mental Genocide. Now, those books are still available on the internet for those who really want to free our minds. And basically, he's advising us that all this we're celebrating people nonsense. It is creating a genocide in your mind. That's all it is doing for you. It isn't uplifting you. When people send out them little poster, me having a black Christmas this or me black seal this, we're not going. And I'm not going because we need to do better now. Them say when you know better, you feel do better. So we have to take, why are we organizing these things? If you're having a sale, you're having a sale. Why it have to be a Christmas sale? I have on this damn nonsense by your head about your son, father X, this or that. No, if we don't promote what is going to enhance our development and, make our young people and our children properly informed, then we need to stop complaining when, them turn idiot out the road. Because, you know, if you don't sow the seed from them little, don't even bother to try and sow it when they're big. So for me, I just want to encourage our people, make sure that you are the educator of your children. You know, the books are there. You have no excuse whatsoever. Book, video, everything is there now for you to access just as you please, and use time in your home every single day. You should be doing a little bit more work with the children and also in your family. You know, instead of buying all this nonsense that we buy, let's buy books that's going to inform them. Have little sessions in the home where you talk about what has been done to our people, what needs to be done to emancipate us and to move us forward, you know. And as I said, share this with our sisters and brothers on the continent of Africa, in the Caribbean, wherever we are. Because if we don't deal with our situation is going to deal with us in the long term.
Serious things is, as them have said and said, if we don't mind our own business, other people's business will mind we.
Indeed, absolutely so true.
Yeah. And is it happening, you know, we sit down waiting for someone to do things for us, you know, because we were educated that way, sis. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell you. You know, sometimes it's odd out there sometimes to even, you know, critique our people to a certain level. But I have to critique those who call themselves leaders. You understand? Because if you go out there and a dog bite you, you know, you have to go and find the owner. You understand? You know? And them said if you have a corrupted leader, you will have a lot of misinformed devotee.
Indeed.
You understand? You know what I'm saying, my sis, you know? From the time I come on this planet, you know, and realize the situation that we're in, you know, I realize that we need an exit plan.
Indeed.
You know, we need an Exodus program. You understand? Coming up to, when we talk about Liberation Day, we should be talking about the family that return. Whether two family. These are collective. Do you understand? You know, and I'm saying, my sis, we have to learn how to shed the skin like a snake. You know, see, the things them that we may call ourselves here, it's protest because we are here. When we're going home, we got to shed the skin. You understand? We can't bring a black power movement. You understand? You know, it have to be a liberation, repatriation. You understand? Oh, we're gonna integrate. I don't want to go back to Africa with a little Jamaica around the corner and a little Barbados. That's not emancipation. Indeed. That is crawling back on the plantation. And I see some of our people living here and going back to Africa with that intention to say, well, you know, we have a little, yeah, and they don't know to go to it with your people because they're not genuine, sis. And we need genuine, you know, we can't going back to Africa pretend like so we some little European because we may see certain things different. And it's really, we have to make what we are saying become a reality. If we're saying that we're Pan-Africanists, let's organize ourselves. That's a proper information office can be in every African country.
Indeed.
In every Caribbean country, you should have a Pan-Africanist office.
That's
you know, you know, with an institutional platform of Exodus. You could go and sign up. You should have one in London signed up. You understand? You know, we have the same. What I said, we should have representative going to these embassies. seeing their preparation towards our coming, because we can't just go like that. We have to prepare, and this is what I'm saying, that the leadership here is not planning no exodus. Them just into a merry-go-round. Take us from Land's End to Birmingham. You understand? And from Birmingham to Liverpool. You know, but they're not thinking about a mass exodus plan, where we can say last year 5 return and them settling well, and we have things put in place to support them and support the community that they're in. These are the things that we should be working towards this.
Very true. And just not to cut in on you, but well, people are starting that work, because Dr. Arikana has just gone down with the Wakanda tribe to reintroduce them to and people are very serious about and obviously we have to start somewhere. So as them say in Jamaica, every mickle make a muckle. So it's for everybody to get behind these projects that people are putting in place to take you back, and for you to see for yourself you can live in your own land. You don't have to live in nobody else's land. These are things that I know a number of people who are on this case, organizing and working to change our condition, because in fact we all need to change our condition so that we can, as Dr. Abu says, we don't go back figure be European in Africa. We go back figure home, go be African, and we have to fit into the society and learn the culture and learn the language, so that we become a part of that structure. If we have skills, we go and share the skills. We're not going to build some big house on top of the hill and I look down on our people. That is not going to serve any purpose whatsoever. I want to share 2 little verses that I have here with the community. And this is one. In order to defeat the alien culture in which we live, we must reclaim and reestablish our own African culture. The next one comes from, in fact, Carter G. Woodson, and it comes from the book Miseducation of the Negro. And just to say, for those that don't know, Carter G. Woodson was also the founder of Black History Month. It started as Black History Week in America and evolved into, now we have everybody now internationally, although our history is here, so we don't need to celebrate it 1 week or 1 month, but it had to start somewhere, and he started it and made that on history. But he also says, in relation to our education and the misinformation that our people are being taught all over the world, when you control a human's thinking, you do not have to worry about their actions. You do not have to tell them not to stand here or to go yonder. They will find their proper place and will stay in it. You do not have to send them to the back door. They will go there without being told. In fact, if there is no back door, they will cut one for their special benefit. Their education makes it necessary. So you see, if we don't emancipate our minds, and I mean, as I've said, the books are there, the literature is there, the films are there, the group work is there. You have so much going on in the community. You have Galaxy Radio, the de-brainwashing station. You have all kinds of people in the community trying to wake our people up and bring them along on the race first path that Garvey promoted. You know, Garvey's organization was massive. People came on board because they wanted to be free and self-determining and to build their nation and make it strong. You know, what are we doing? What are we, where is the schools that we're building? You think I know we're talking about our own school? From, as they would have said in Jamaica, from Wappy Kill Phillip. And yet, we don't even have a nursery class that we could point to and say, look, we have a nursery over so. We have work to do as a people, and we need to, you know, everybody want to have the best phone, the best computer. No, we have work to do. We have to save ourselves and our people. Because you think these people are going to move out of Africa and give up the luxury where they've been enjoying, all that diamond and all the cobalt that they used to build their mobile phones and their laptops. You think they're going to just step aside? This is a war situation that we are in. And any day we wake up to that fact, we're going to join the army and do our part of that work. I'll leave you with Dr. Abu now.
Serious status, you know. You know, when we hear the name Africa Bantu, you understand, you know. Today we know it is Saturday school.
That's right.
But I know her as a wonderful empress.
Me too.
You know, wonderful. And this is what I'm saying, that when you see the journey, you understand, and the struggle and the hard work, you know, and sometimes we ask why some of our greats leave young. They're tired.
Indeed.
You understand? They're literally tired because, as I said, responsibility is not the duty of few, but the duty of many. But out there right now is a few, and believe me, the works right. One of our hard-working brother Delani is in hospital.
Oh,
touch and go.
Oh no!
Touch and go.
I'm really sad to hear that.
Understand. And he's a wonderful support
worker.
Understand what I'm saying? So, you know, when it comes, because I hear people out there, they say that, oh, we should have this, we should have that. But if we start to support what we have, then we built on that. We have Saturday schools, and they need our support.
That's right.
And if we start to show the volume of support, then we can move from Saturday to Friday, then to Thursday, then to Wednesday, Tuesday, then we know that we did it. But what we have to realize that we don't have to take on the 5 days a week like the system.
Exactly.
We don't have to do that. We can take 3 days in the week to have our school, you understand, and have other outreach, rite of passage program for our young people out there in the community.
That's right.
You understand? You know, I grew up in Jamaica. I was born here in the 50s.
Okay.
You know, they shipped me out around a couple weeks before the 58 riot.
Okay.
You understand? You know, so what people have to realize, I was in my mother's womb and hearing and feeling the vibration that they were going through. You know, I grew up in Jamaica, where television come see us. Television come see us.
Yes.
That means that we were functioning even before there was a silver screen. You know, I remember as a little boy, they take us to Martini. You remember I used to go Martini, you know, and me and my cousin go, you know, and first time we have see them thing there. And you see when the lion come out and roar, my God, all they could cinema door like that. My cousin run out of that cinema, and from Marant Bay to Dumfries is around 1 mile, and I can bet him flat it. In break with bolt, you understand? But this is what I'm saying, you know, things. But I give thanks to Miss Louise Bennett Cloverly.
And indeed.
Mass Ran and all those Griot.
That's right.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for the little drama we were getting us, the little kumina, the little Pocomini and all of them things there to keep us in our Africanness.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind, we wouldn't think in the way that we're thinking today.
Yes,
you know, growing up with those wonderful Rasta man and woman. I'm not talking somewhere we are sitting to do. Me I talk the original.
I understand.
You know, those man and woman was the first Obia man and woman. You understand? That give us our full Africanness. And what the society do with is turn on them.
Indeed.
You understand? Because it never fit the colonial structure. Turn family against family. You understand? And up to today, it continue. So I said, here we are. You know, as long as we look out for one another, because we is all we have.
Indeed.
We all we have, sis. You know?
Indeed.
And I have to rise up another wonderful elder amongst us. Elder Yui Andrew.
Indeed.
You understand, you know? He's a vicar, but I will follow him anyway because
I agree with you.
You know, he do more than those who even talk certain talk.
Absolutely.
You understand, you know? And this is what, when we start to look at our people, them, you know, and see the work that they have done and the support that they have given, you understand? Then we can't say we don't know. But true, we're in the state of denial, sis.
That is
the
number.
And the whole thing about it, metaphorically, I see some of our people as a junkie, because that's the behavior of a junkie. You understand? A junkie will abuse his family, but smile with its dealer. And shuffle, you go, you see him around his dealer shuffling, and this is what we do. We smile and shuffle amongst Wazungu because he become our fixer. And he's been fixing us. And today, as I said, I'm tired of the fixing. We want to restore to our true Africanness.
Indeed, I agree with you 100%. I mean, you mentioned Miss Lou. I mean, you know, Miss Lou, I remember we did a DVD, myself, Sister Roseanne, who is working with the sister that's dealing with the domestic violence. And we did a DVD, and also Sister C and Auntie Lindewe, inspirational Black women. Yeah. And obviously we couldn't leave out Miss Lou, because Miss Lou, you know, these are the warriors in our community. Because Miss Lou, as a youngster, decided that what she was being taught didn't have any relevance to her. I remember she said they were singing this song about swing low, sweet after. And she said to herself, so what is this sweet after? And what have to do with me? And so that was how she came to write one of her poems. You know, so it's about us knowing that we need to change things and having the courage to stand up and be part of that change. You know, I haven't seen the curriculum in Africa, and I know Sister Shanice had invited some speakers tonight who would have told us a bit more about the curriculum on the continent. But personally, I don't think it's that much different to what them have in the Caribbean and what them teach the people them here. So, you know, a curriculum that doesn't focus on the historical legacy of our own people, our own ancestors, a religious curriculum that doesn't focus on our ancestors and their spiritual legacy, the voodoo and all the religions that were practiced by our ancestors that brought us to where we were when these destroyers came into our lives. All of these things, that is the essence of what the curriculum on the continent, in the Caribbean, and any schools that we create here and in the United States. I remember during the 1980s, I visited Brooklyn and went to the Uhuru Sasa School in Brooklyn. And Brother Pepkai had given me some books to take for a brother called Tenny and the others who ran the school. And I put it in my suitcase and took it. Most people probably would have said, well, me, I might think for carry me now, but you know, we have to be willing to be party to what is going to change. And this school, it's a long time ago, was really doing the work. The education was Pan-African. It was focused on our historical legacy, our religion, reclaiming of our names, our legacy from our ancestors. And so the children were bright and sparkling because they knew who they were and they knew the direction that the school was trying to put them into, which was not an enslaved slot in the society. It was giving them the backbone to be the giants that we can become when we are eating our own substance. And this is so important. You know, as I say, there was a small video coming around recently, and it wasn't a pastor, it was like a scholar, and he was talking about the fact that when a thief goes to rob you, you would beat him to death before you let him rob you if you have the substance. But yet still, you have people who rob you with your consent because you vote for them to rob you with your consent. Them taking away your essence, your education. They're taking away your future. They're taking away your good health, etc., etc. And you don't say nothing. You just depart it, you low it. And every year you come out and you vote for it same way. You know, I really was very impressed by this African brother giving that message, because this is the message we need to understand. Nothing happens without our consent. And we need to stop consenting to exploitation and oppression. And we need to have, as I want us to be nourished with good information. Book out there. I mean, there's Dr. Walter Rodney, The Groundings with My Brethren, a fantastic book. How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, another fantastic book. And I came across my book, The Black Holocaust by Del Jones.
Oh, man.
And I mean, Del Jones used to come here to speak.
War correspondence.
You know, sadly, we lost him as a young man. But, you know, he says, we need a new beginning. The first steps towards tomorrow should be clear. We must redesign the African personality to serve us through these difficult times. And so that is about reclaiming ourselves, reestablishing the legacy of our ancestors, and also reestablishing the legacy that we want to hand down to future generations. So when they pick up the baton, they know exactly what direction they're going in. Thank you.
Serious thing, sis. No, Del Jones, war correspondence.
I tell you.
always. You know, I meet him in the 80s at the book place in Peckham. You remember the book place?
I do remember the book place in Peckham.
Wonderful institution. You meet many authors. Susan Taylor, many of them that pass through there and give wonderful lectures.
That's right.
I remember over T. Shaka and his wife.
Yes, in fact,
you know,
I had the privilege in the 90s of speaking ALD with him, his wife, and Dr. John Henry Clark.
Well, it's him we get the narrative from de-brainwashing.
Okay.
You know, because he was telling us how him and his wife have to go in a lot of the organization them in the state and de-brainwash them.
Yes.
You understand, you know, because he said they were so educated that they stopped doing things for themselves.
Indeed.
You understand? And I always said, anytime he he comes back to the UK, we have to bring him together and make him realize his contribution.
That's right.
You know, and this is what a lot of people doesn't understand, that it's not me, it's not you, it's all of us.
It is indeed.
You know, we inspire one another. We are not here to entertain one another, you know. We are here to inspire one another.
Indeed.
And that is why over the years turn our inspiration people into entertainers and contain them. You understand? And contain them in such a way they lost their purpose. You know, but they glad on to the position. You know, one of the great educationists, Pasco, Alarm Magazine.
Oh, I have whole heap of them in my house. And I'll tell you see, when things like that come out, like the Alarm, Wakening the Nation, you don't have to wait for nobody to tell you to go every month, go get 13 copy and sell it in your community. You know, this is, I used to, even when I'm going to Jamaica, I carry my 13 copy to sell out there. So we have to take charge of how we share and promote information in our community. Nobody shouldn't have to call us when a magazine come out that is going to advance our development and emancipate our mind, because the Alarm was big out there. And also, you remember they did a monthly African market at Willesden Green Library.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, in fact, the archives has quite a lot of copies of the archives, so much so that I've still got all of mine here in my house because they didn't need them. You know.
No, that's true. You know,
know about the Alarm.
No, it's true. And even in the Caribbean town,
indeed,
you understand, was really giving some good information to the community.
Indeed.
You know, before the other one lost his voice.
And the New Nation also. You remember the New Nation? Yeah, I had a whole letter published in the New Nation.
Yeah, man. You know, these are things them. A lot of people doesn't realize that the shoulder that we are standing on, them things say, well, it's just like that. It's a journey.
It is.
You know, it's a journey, you know, of our people, you know. As I said, when you look and see, we're talking about the book place. Wonderful institution. And you know that Southern Council, you know, instead of seeing, you know, an institution that's giving the community a purpose, you know, where young people could come and be grounded. They shut it down. And if you look and see the damage that local authority have done to the Black community.
Indeed.
You know, a lot of people say, no, but I said, from the time we country, our mothers and fathers, the biggest obstacle that they faced was the local authority. You understand? And along the way, you understand, from Ladbroke Grove, you understand, to Shepherd Bush, to Brixton, to Toxted, anywhere our people is, the biggest problem they have is the local authority. Look what now in Brent. They are not up against the National Front. They are up against local authority by Labour. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying, that for years Labour is in African people.
That's right.
But because we are a junkie, some of us is a junkie to this Labourness.
Indeed.
You understand? We're afraid to criticize, you know? And we're quick to come and talk about, the police. But many times we come in contact with the police, is the local authorities kitch them on us.
Indeed.
You understand, my sis?
It's true. It is the truth.
And today, because we work for them, we are counseling it, we are afraid to speak the truth. And this is the problem that we are in, my sis. This is the problem that This is the problem that we playing about the situation of our young people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the 80s and 70s, the local authority never have so much of our young people.
This is true.
You understand? Because many of us wasn't even working for the local authority.
That is true.
You understand? And before we take that equal ups, because we talk about it, but we don't up. You understand? Before we take that equal ups and support one another, we take the equal ups and move out from another.
That's right.
You understand? So
very true.
What you're saying, my sis, it go right back to Carter G. Woodson. You understand? Because number one, we doesn't prepare our children for university. I mean, prepare. You know, proper briefing and proper debriefing. We don't do these things. We just send them out into this wilderness, and some of them are as a spy. And we do not know that the university is a nest. It's a festive way they recruit our people. The university is where they turn Michael into Michelle.
Indeed, especially nowadays.
Yeah, you understand? So, as I said, we have a wonderful history here, my sis.
Indeed.
You know? And if we bring it to the primary source, as a primary source, then our young people will see that we never give up. We never give up. What happened to us, there's obstacle in our way, but we never give up, sis.
I agree.
You understand? You know, look how long you're there. You never give up. And look what we've been through.
Exactly.
You know, but we can't give up. You know, we can't give up, and we can't because you see out there, sis, you know, it's the have and the have not. You know, see, but it seemed like we joined this have club and we forgot the have not.
Yeah, indeed. Well, a lot of us think that we is part of the structure.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see. So many of us, we get a little part on some television program. Sometimes what them have you I do, you should have shame for them on it and do it. But you know, them think it's some big thing them get. So it is a big. You're coming back to the way in which the local authority destroys our services. I can remember in the 80s or early 90s assisting New Initiatives at Willington Road. New Initiatives was run by Brother Pablo, and Sister Ella. And, you know, the emphasis was on proper good youth work with our young people, African-centered youth work with our people. We all used to have Kwanzaa and all the education celebrations in that building, because it's a wonderful building.
Yep.
And before you know it, Lambeth Council don't want that, you know. So they destroy that service that was doing a good work in our community. And it's not the only place, because even the youth club, I'm currently the treasurer for the Friends of my local youth club. And now this is where my counselor is a black woman, and she was not having it when them ready for said them I go close down youth club. Over our dead body, she said. That's why we still didn't know. Because, you know, this is the point also. We have to stand up and stand together and stand with those who are trying to keep the services going for our people. Sometimes our 90 young people come at that youth club. Some of them never live in the area. But they need a service. I cannot understand what kind of structure we live in where you're going to destroy services that are doing good work with young people, and then when them doing something, we're no good. you're putting the blame on them. Well, if you did have somewhere for them to go where they could get support and counseling and guidance, maybe they wouldn't do some of the things that they do, you know. So these are some of the things that we need to look at in our community. We need to step up to the plate. We need to be part of the services that's going to inform and instruct our people here and abroad. And as I said earlier, we definitely need to be assisting with books. There are quite a number of groups of our people now traveling back and forth on the continent who are seeking donations of books and other artifacts. And as I said, I have no aversion to, if me see that there's a need, me would take my money, go buy this something and send it. Because, you know, what it takes to buy and send some books that's going to advance the mindset of our people, to me, that is a solid investment, really a solid investment, you know. So as I said, I can show another letter where the lady write me, Sister Ogoto. And she said she translated the posters in the community. The women were so amazed because they were also learning the history of us that had been taken away, because many of the people in the villages don't know some of this history, you know. So there's a lot of work to be done, but we need to make a big start.
Serious thing, my sis, you know, and Sister Angie Aga, I've seen furnish out a library in the Gambia. And that library, it's at the old Joshua Health Center. And students out from the university come there to use it.
I'm sure.
You know, you go in the hospital today and see how furnish from here. They go there and see the needs, what needed, and they never sit down and complain. They organize themselves, you know, set up health awareness day. You understand? And it brings such of awareness in the Gambia till even the Minister of Health is acknowledging, and this is how we have to operate, sis. This is how we have to operate. You understand? Brother Patrick Augustus went to the Gambia and see somebody throw away a cigarette box, and a child run to pick it up just to use it as paper to write on.
Yes.
You understand? And that him give him say and said, you know what? A school. You understand? So this is what I'm saying, that we have to see the ripple go further.
Indeed.
You understand? You know, every Pan-African organization, you understand? You know, should be putting something into a fund. You understand? You know, that will benefit the future to come. Anything can happen.
Indeed.
Anything can happen, Empress. You understand? And this is what we are saying. You know, when things come and happen, we should take out. You should see a center page take out with all the organization them. You understand? Saying we have to have a mission statement. You understand? We can't just run around loosely, individually. I think, therefore, I am because we are. And because we are, therefore, I am. You understand? And that is how we have to operate. You know? We have to operate in such a way. I don't have to agree with everything that you say, my Empress.
Absolutely. And nor should we.
You understand? But the end of the day, if that tree needed to water, you understand? We need to water it. You don't have to remind me. It's a standing order.
That's right.
You understand? And if we stand in order, then we will see the support. We will see the support.
Very true indeed. And there,
You know, but
as you know, there's so many people out there, small groups, doing a lot of work. I mean, I was speaking to a young sister just today and was mentioning to her about how, the All African People's Revolutionary Party. I remember years ago, they had such a big group of people. And now you're lucky if you have a good 2 handful, Pan-African Congress movement, all of these organizations, small bodies of people. So what are the rest of the people doing? You go to a Kwanzaa now, the place full. You can just barely get in. When I started going to Kwanzaa in the 80s in Turnpike Lane,
yes,
you could have count the amount of people in the hall. Some years ago, you go now, you can't even get in the door downstairs. They have to move the market downstairs because the hall is so full to overflowing. But yet still, it's just a few people there doing the work, setting up. And, we really have to begin now, for me anyway, all of us, to critique what we're doing here. I mean, for me, I don't understand why we're on the planet if we're not advancing our people's liberation and the awakening of our people. Because as I said earlier, all are we going to suffer if we don't fix up and get our minds right and get our leadership all over the African continent, the Caribbean, wherever we see people who are supposed to be in a leadership position, they need to fix up. Because in my opinion, if we're looking at them and critiquing them, you think the rest of the world not looking at them and thinking, why them people now have no use? We have to fix up and we have to challenge our leadership. We want better from them and we must demand it.
Serious thing. That's why we always will remember Mama Bernard.
Indeed.
That woman,
serious work.
Fight. That woman fight for your people.
She did.
You understand? Fight for your people. And you see, when they put up that fight, you can see the hypocrisy of the Labour Party.
Indeed.
Deselection. If you look around today and see councillors being deselect, why? Because they're standing up for their people.
Exactly.
You understand? And it's just to show you that whether you're conservative, Labour, or liberal, that make that come between you and your brother.
That's right.
And your sister. And this is the big divide, because what I'm saying as Empress Nzinga, when they're talking about the 70s, 80s, early 90s, the people that was running these organizations was people of experience. But today, the people who are running it is people that is certified.
That's right.
I have nothing against certification, but if the experience you should twin up. Shadow the experience. But I see certified people come in the community and look down on the experience.
That's right.
Doesn't want nothing to do with them. See, and later on, the local authorities start to put out policy. If you're not certifying this and certifying that, you can't be around that, and this is what they do.
Indeed.
The destruction of the Black community was by the hand of some of the certified one them because they never have the experience.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I mean, I have a booklet. I've given a copy to Sister Shanice, Brother Nat. Well, I've got Brother Nat here in my house because he's still to come and pick it up, and some others. It was a document which I mentioned when I did the talk with Sister Shanice a few weeks back. It was a document that was submitted to the House of Commons Social Services Committee about Black children being removed from their families and taken into care And it was telling them that we're not going to put up with it and we're going to fight them to stop them doing all. Most of the social people now and health professionals, we were called the Association of Black Social Workers and Allied Professionals. So whatever professional you were in the caring field, whether you were a probation officer, a nursery worker, a health visitor, a nurse, you could become part of that fight to prevent them taking Black children into care and farming them off all over this country with people who didn't look like them, who knew nothing about them, etc., etc. Now, people don't even know that that work has been done, you know, and so a lot of things that are happening have already been dealt with, and people should be standing firm on what has gone before. But if you don't know nothing about it, how are you going to stand firm? So it's again about informing yourself, researching the things that have gone before so that you don't have to keep repeating the same story. Because when you keep repeating the same story, you're actually holding back your development.
No, a serious thing, Empress. A serious thing. You know, we're in, what I said, in these barrows. You know, we are in these barrows, and if it's not the dope dealer, it's the hope dealer that gets us. You understand, you know? And as I said, over the years, I've seen brothers and sisters put things together for the benefit, you know, to uplift their people. You understand? You have a wonderful group up there again in Lewisham, ISIS family.
Yes.
And the local authority do everything to destroy that. You understand? You know, these are the things that I look on over the years. I look on the Sojourner Truth Center, the Unity Center. You know, see it, you know. You can go over Grove. We can Muhammad Ali Center in Birmingham that I think is a Sikh temple now.
Right.
You understand? And these are the hands.
Even remember Enterprise with Brother Emmanuel.
Aye. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the recreation center, Don Brixton, that then said Muhammad Ali give money to. Look and see what's going on in Brent today. You know, Brent County is fighting the community for their asset.
Yes.
And we don't, and it doesn't alarm. You understand? It's like
Dr. Abu, you're gonna find is the same few little people are run over there for help save it. Because the majority of the people seem to think them have ringside seat. You know, so I don't know what the answer is in terms of making people understand that we are in a war situation and nobody cannot be a spectator. You know, you have to find your place in this work and start to do your share. You know, we shouldn't have to be fighting the local authority. If people had come there, because that place in Bridge Park is a long time that's been going on. That should be secure now.
That's it. You know, you see what them do after they use it for their own benefit. You know, because what the local authority done over the years through the EU, right? They get us to sign in on these enlisted building. And because we go on to it, that's how they get the money from the EU.
Right.
You understand? You know, but there's a hidden clause because all it was a promise, you know, oh, we're gonna hand it over to you. And every time that it should be handing, something come up.
Right.
And something keep on coming up. You understand? In Sadok, they may have a black Iranian prophet, some another prophet. You understand? And he never bring no profit to us.
Right.
And this is a black man, you know, that was in charge of some funding to uplift the community. I see Starlight Global approach him for 10,000 and he refused them and he give 100,000 to some outside group to do a one-day event in the park.
Really?
You understand? These are the type of people that we see come amongst us.
Yeah.
Because especially, you know, we got through a hard time with the late Tina. A lot of people don't understand that. Them things said, oh, concept, all of them, but the Labour Party abuse black people so much.
Absolutely.
You know, see, where I see them used to bring workers from Liverpool to work in London, certain place in London, and they have no experience. They don't even know of the history and all of these things.
Right.
So what them do, then kind of bring in a Kwango administration. Person that come in now as a development officer, he doesn't have a clue. He doesn't even know the man around the corner that a juggle.
Right.
You understand? He doesn't know nothing. So when he come now, he become now just like my eyes for the community, for the local authority. You know, see it, you know? Like he wire for sound. And these people, they look down on everyone who is not certified cis. You understand? You know? Eventually, what they do was bring them in as a troubleshooter, because eventually they aim, that's how they take over the building.
Oh, I see. Yes, exactly.
And you see, when them take over the building, them hand it over to the church.
Indeed.
And this is what I said. All the riots, the only two people then that benefit from those things is black counselors and pastors.
I hear you. I don't know if you saw the article that Professor Gus John wrote. It was on, was it the front page of the Gleaner about 3 weeks back? And
I haven't seen that.
He was saying that we must stop vote for the Labour Party because, and the argument was basically what you were saying there about the damage that they've done over the years, because they've had the vote almost exclusively from the majority of black people who vote. But yet still, we're always fighting for what is rightfully ours and for the resources and facilities that we have, that we use for our development as a community, always having to be fighting for it, as opposed to us being entitled to our share.
Serious thing, Empress, serious thing. Every time that's the community rally to bring some form of liberation to their people, them always blame that building or them a laundry money. You know, even throwing our partner, you know, them was saying that a laundry money, you know.
Well, I heard that they were wanting to know about it so them could tax it.
Yeah. You know, you go and tell them that way. Oh, them said, oh, so you're a partner in crime. That's what them used to call it. Partner in crime.
Indeed.
You understand? That institution that help us and help even our family in the Caribbean. Because that's what I'm saying, that I'm talking about people who never even accept benefit.
Indeed.
You know? Because our people never bend to fit them. Like how them bend to fit them now. You understand? Because we were doing things for self.
Indeed.
You know, our mothers and fathers here was remembering family back home. Family was always on their mind.
I remember my father always used to send us to go by the postal order for putting at the envelope for send for help. Some of them wasn't even family.
You understand? You know, when you're in the Caribbean, a part of the recipient, because sometimes if you don't understand the recipient, when you see that register slip come, you understand, when you see that parcel come and that come, and when you're there, in your mind, you're thinking that these people are clean. You understand? You think that they own Oxford because
indeed
they're sending the best to us. You know them kind of way there.
it's true.
And I was shocked when I come here in 1999. Shocked my sis. And in that shock, that I was so shocked, I joined the army.
Okay. I'll be honest, my two brothers were in the army. They didn't stay, well, one stayed for 3 years and one stayed a very short time. But that was, I suppose, again, part of that mental conditioning where we didn't know better. So people are willing to sign up to these things,
Is it when I grew up in Jamaica, you grew up into a collective. You understand? And when I come here, it was time when strikes and all that, and I never see that collective, sis. I mean, if I take the test for West Midland Police, pass it. And going back home and walk in the bull ring and see this sign, join the army and see the world. You understand? So it's looking for a collective.
Yes.
You understand? And I tell you, when I was in the army, is the first time I see a unity of us. Because no matter where we are, from we see one another, we are. You understand? Because we know, because we are with the man and we see him in his killing mood.
Indeed.
A lot of us never see him in that mood. You understand? So it makes us know that no matter where our brothers and sisters from, no matter what, I see you.
That's right.
You understand? And along the journey, as I said, we can't forget some of the people that, see along the way. I remember that the first I knew of the nation of Islam was a brother amongst us called Shabazz. Brother Shabazz is the only man that was selling the final call.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he's still alive now. It's about in his 80s. You understand?
Oh, wow.
70s.
Long time.
You understand? But he always him when I go on any form of African liberation there, he's there.
Yes.
He's there. You understand? And this is what I'm saying. In those days, we never make our label an issue.
That is true.
Never make our label an issue. You understand? But today, too much of our so-called people, they are certified. They have no experiences. No experience. And that's the problem. And that's the problem that the young people them see also. You understand? I sit on a youth referral panel here in Sadok.
Okay.
You understand? And that's volunteer for over 20 years. You understand? And I've seen the best of our young people. See it? And I've seen the worst of what they make them. You understand? But you realize that sometimes we is the only one them even have a good conversation with. So I say to myself that I rather put myself in a position into prevention, because I get many offers to go but I can't go in a prison and work with my young people. I can't do it because I can't go in and leave them in there.
I understand.
You understand me? So I try to put myself in a more because today, my sis, some of us who are working in the prison, we don't mind if it's full of us because it starts to pay our mortgage.
That's right.
You understand? And I see people saying that they're going into prison to empower. You understand? But we don't realize the damage that we are doing. You understand? because it become a fixtures now where we are paying our mortgage. Like said, if we're going there volunteer, then it will be a big difference. But we are going it, and of us doesn't mind if the prison full of us, because as I said, lot of us today are getting our wages from the misery of our people.
This is very true in some regard, and certainly, I mean, obviously, a lot of people are much more informed now in terms of, you know, even when you're in, let's say you're on a course at a college, if you should be looking into your community to see how you can use what it is you are learning to advance your people, because you know you didn't just come here for serve yourself. You know, you came here to be of service to your own people. Every people on the earth develops their own services for their own people. We seem to think we must rely on other people all the time, which it is not going to do it for us, because their agenda is not our agenda. So just coming back to education, I want to just suggest to our community that they look out for some of the really good books that we've talked about today. You know, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Aisha Kamusa Barashango, who I mentioned earlier, European Holidays and African People and Mental Genocide. Dr. Bobby Wright, The Psychopathic Racial Personality. Dr. Marimba Arni, Urugu. Let the Circle Be Unbroken. Dr. Chancellor Williams, Destruction of Black Civilization. You know, and Amos, going back, Falsification of the African Consciousness. You know, these are books that every leader on the African continent should be reading. The education ministers and mistresses should be reading these books, because if we don't emancipate our minds, our education is going to continue to not serve any useful purpose. I think we're getting Sister Shanice and somebody coming on board. We're longing to see her come on board and give your contribution to this. But so hopefully people will look up the books. In fact, nowadays, you just put in your search engine, Black political books, and you can find almost anything that's going to inform you and take you forward as a people.
Ashe. Sister Shanice, you back with us? Seem like Sister Shanice can't hear us, you know.
It probably is because she's just recently gone back to the Gambia, so it's probably not set up yet. She hasn't had time to, you know, find the little nooks and cranny, as them would say.
Them said we expect a storm here called Barrow.
Oh, okay.
And there was a storm there called Barrow, so you know, maybe.
Okay. Oh, I see them borrow it. I hear you. I understand.
No, but what you said, those authors is very good. Very good for our people. With you.
Me no in none of them pure reading. Me reading for join the war. Me not read for come with no nonsense. I mean, all the Chancellor Williams, page 301 to the end. When tell you say, we have traditional and everlasting enemy. Him not say them done, you know, because we move a century forward. Traditional and everlasting. And if we don't realize it, him say, 50 years hence, our children going to be talking the same thing where we are talking today. Because it's the solution is not to see your enemy as your friend, because I know your friend. You know, so, you know, serious book, man. You're not going to get anything out of books where I tell you about people are your friend and you must mix up and it ain't gonna do you no good. You want serious book. Oh,
Yeah, man. Walter Rodney, Destruction.
indeed, definitely.
You understand how Europe underdeveloped Africa. When you start to read those thing, even the miseducation. I have it on audio book.
Okay.
Because I play it more time on the radio.
Excellent.
You understand? And these are the things we have to, guys, we have to build our institution.
Indeed.
That's why every fortnight we have Dr. Arakana, ADDI program, because our people have to know what's going on.
Indeed.
They ain't gonna get it on any other media. And we have to provide a platform that's where people can know what's happening out there.
I agree. Well, I'll be honest with you. When she did her launch of the British delegation, I mean, I sent it to all boat. You get the little clip on WhatsApp, send it out, make everybody know things are going.
It's out of the plan. I supposed to have her soon as a guest.
Excellent.
And Galaxy, because as I said,
coming back on the 13th of December. I think they went from the 3rd to the 13th to build up Wakanda Village.
Yeah, man. Yes, and certain things that is taking place. But what I mean is an institution that we have to support.
Indeed, absolutely.
You understand? Because
and I mean, the fact is that the land has been given, so I'm sure people will be able to afford to buy or secure their piece of land to build something of substance for our people.
Yeah.
And once people see it beginning to work, these people won't have nobody to do them dirty work. Oh, good, because we'll all be going.
I serious thing. And I want to rise up in Sister Cecil there in Botswana.
Excellent.
A sister that returned from the outside and bringing back her skills and her to develop. And these are the things then that we have to help support.
Absolutely.
Easy. And I know it's not easy, sis.
No, that's right. Because oftentimes you one, I try to do the little way I try to do, and people I look upon you like you're mad.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Just one thing I want to share with people, just quickly, and it's from Walter Rodney, The Groundings with My Brethren, and it was written at the front of the book when he was in Jamaica. And it says, the present human condition of Black people relative to that of white people is appalling. We Black people, having realized this, demand from the white people economic and political power commensurate with our numbers. And what he's saying is that we need to understand that only our own education is going to clear our thinking so that we can know what direction we need to be taking. And another point that he makes in the groundings is we learn for action. We don't learn to sit down and think, oh, we're so knowledgeable and we're going to talk till God comes. We learn and we inform ourselves for political action and to overthrow the oppressive system that is keeping us in a form of bondage. So I'll leave that there and let Dr. Abu
because grounding with my brethren, he was talking about the Rastaman and woman.
It was indeed.
A lot of people doesn't realize that that's why he was even run out of Jamaica. You understand? Because what he's saying, imagine something so natural come to you and you reject it.
Indeed.
And say, Is after that them set up even the 12th tribe, you know that, sis.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that, but I knew that he was doing grounding sessions with the Rastafarian community, and
Of course.
people who were interested would come, and because you say Hugh Shearer,
Yes.
I wouldn't even bother say what I think about him, but he particularly banned Walter Rodney because you see, for him, liver was so white and in mine.
Yeah.
So, that is because I understand that it wasn't just Walter Rodney in ban any book about black people, black power, black anything, in ban it. So,
Because certain reggae music couldn't play on the ear.
That's right.
Couldn't play on the ear and all of them things. And as him deport him from there.
That's right.
Because if you look at the time to the Coral Garden massacre, it was still alive, but they want to kill it.
That's right. Exactly.
Because it is not even curriculum in Jamaica.
No, but even to this day,
not even to this day
about Garvey.
You understand? As I said, Empress, is 3 natural things come to Jamaica and they reject it.
Indeed.
Ganja, Rasta, and reggae music.
Indeed.
You understand? And I grew up in Jamaica. I know that if it's 100 of us there, it's on good 10 out of the 100s is conscious.
Indeed, I agree with that 100%. They really don't want to emancipate themselves from the mental slavery at all. But
they sing the song a lot, though.
Well, you see, for them, it's entertainment. And this is another problem that our people have with, I remember Sister Affiong saying one time that our people don't really want to ingest the knowledge because they come out to Kwanzaa and to Africa Liberation Day and other events to be entertained. To them, it's like their enjoyment. They don't come there to learn how we can build this, or I can join this organization and help it to grow big and strong. So, as I say, the education of our people is going to be fundamental to bringing the real change that is going to make us free, self-determining, and enable us to foster nation building across wherever we are in the world.
Yeah, man. It's all a preparation. We have to prepare. Even some of the events that we keep to get them in the day. When the children can participate in it.
Indeed.
When the children then can be a part of it. All of these night thing, these are a part of the whole plantation.
Yes, exactly.
When you're in Africa, things start early and in the evening we're going home.
Okay, I understand.
You understand? But it's a reverse here. See it. It's a reverse here where we look forward to in the night and find someone to look after the children in the night and all of these. And sometimes we don't even find nobody for left them. We just left them.
Oh dear.
You understand? Especially when it comes to the dance. There's a lot of our young people. You understand? They live in some unprotected city. Yeah. But this is what we have to organize ourselves and said never again.
That's so true. So true. Absolutely.
Myself. You touch it, from if we don't, you said if we doesn't have centers of counseling, centers to counsel us, to bring mediation to and all of these things.
Yes.
We're just gonna continue hurting ourselves.
That's the truth. But you see, it comes back to what we've been saying about us using our education for the benefit of providing a service to our people. Because, You know, the few little people that been working from from whenever till now, we're getting old. We're tired. We want to have a little relaxation. I mean, some of us, like myself, I have a sister with dementia. I go and visit her every fortnight. I have a good friend, again, with dementia. I go and visit and take her so that her family can get a few little hours of free time. Other things, people are busy. And it seems to me that a lot of the people who are not doing anything, they seem to think that you have more time than them and than everybody else. No, it's your sacrifice that you are prepared to put forward, however many hours it is that you have sacrificed to give to the development of your people. And that is a job that I think we all don't realize why we are here on the planet. We didn't come here to sit down. I have a poem. Why are we here? We never come here to sit down comfortably in no armchair. So we have to take ourselves seriously and recognize we owe our ancestors the legacy that they have left us. We owe them to build on it and to ensure that the future generations are also building on it and take the baton and run with it and do something.
Serious thing, Empress. Serious. Sister Shanice, are you black with us?
No, Lord.
Yeah, no, she's not actually black with us. But as I said, even the other day we lost a wonderful Empress.
Okay.
Sister Ellen. She always out there supporting the sickle cell cause because she's a sufferer herself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to say a big respect goes out to Sister Samantha, sickle cell cause. All the sickle cell warriors them out there. Because again, the miseducation, a lot of our people have been overdosed in the hospital because they said they don't understand nothing about sickle cell.
Yes.
Look how long sickle cell they about. It's about before AIDS. It's about before all of these things.
This is very
and it's
true.
right at the back because it's black people.
Yeah, I understand.
You understand? So
our workers who are in that field working with our sickle cell people are very well informed, and
yes.
They do a sterling work to ensure that knowledge is expanded across the community and for the families and relatives of sufferers of sickle cell, because in the past people had a lot of pain, they weren't given proper so we give thanks for the people who are contributing to this. And whilst I'm here, I'm going to just mention Sister Muwasi, and I really want just to give thanks for her life. We lost her a few years back, and we did a really brilliant memorial for her in Mitcham. But I came across a picture of her that I have of when we did the event, and I just wanted to bring her to the community's attention, because that was a sister who, despite her challenges, was always there on the battlefield, giving her service to our people. And she really needs to be honored and remembered. I don't know if you remember her, Sister Muwasi Bojang.
Yeah. I think if I said it, sometime the name
you would recognize her. Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, some wonderful people, that's gone on to the ancestor.
I mean, Sister Nkechi from Alkebulan, our revivalist movement, and Brother Dougie, so many of our people, and they came to be part of that Pan-African education framework to make a contribution, to make a difference for our people. And I really just want to encourage people. The time is going on fast now, but just to encourage everybody to, take up the baton. Just, you don't have to do all that it you want.
No.
Take a piece and run with it. Find people of like mind. If you don't see people already in existence that you want to work with. Create something and use it to change the mindset of our people, to emancipate ourselves from this mental entrapment. It's like we're in that trap and we don't want to come out. And I really personally, before I leave this earth, I really want to see the mass of our people awake, aware, wide awake, and creating the kind of system for our learning that's going to move our people forward.
No, a serious thing, Empress, and I want to rise up some of our drama team, because within our education, drama play a great role.
Indeed.
And we must create more drama to bring out the issues them that affect us to our people. I grew up, as I said, I grew up in Jamaica, and we grew up on Dulcimina.
Okay.
We grew up on these life in Oakville Village. Them way there. And these are the things then that if you never know it in a certain way, through the character and certain things, you come to know certain things. A lot of people even learn to read. You understand? By listening certain drama. I remember when Michael Mann bring Jamal.
I have some of the books from that, because when I was in Jamaica, I got quite a few books. They had lovely books about Marcus Garvey and all sorts of things from that Jamal, and even about children with disabilities. Really simple, straightforward books that people could use to improve their literacy and their numeracy, and it was free.
Yeah, when that come out, we in the 70s, me and Dan Lyons, we're the one that we go to JBC to do the literacy song.
Oh, okay.
So we'd have to go to JBC to perform it.
Yes.
You understand? And the thing I like with Jamal, it used the drama. It drove the drama, and it wasn't looking on grammar.
Okay.
Because if we not pronounce it right, it's right. We know what you're talking about. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what's the beauty of it. Instead, it never make grammar an issue. You understand? Because we know what we've done. He never says certificate, he says certificate.
Exactly.
Then kind of really.
Electricity.
And this is the thing that when we with our people, we must not make grammar cause us to look down on them.
I agree.
You understand, Mrs.? Because I grew up in Jamaica. I know a man who could fix TV and could even spell TV.
I agree. I know a lot of people who them getting by, and them intelligence seem like anybody else. Just that they never had the exposure to book learning.
So it's we have to know that the literate always. I grew up in a community where the literate support the illiterate, because when I grew up in a village, want a village, say a village dance.
Indeed.
You understand? And that's the beauty.
In the Caribbean, and education is a very serious business.
What do you mean? Yeah, I never said to you that I write your name from Bulla, and you turn around and me talk and not even know. Every talk when they say it, see?
I remember that one.
Certain words that they use, but it means sense. Yeah, I remember saying it said, "We're born not provided. Dogs are not invited."
Indeed.
You understand?
Yes,
when you look
one as well.
when you look at our status in this place, if we do understand that talk, we realize that is we got to do for ourselves.
Indeed.
Because we are born are not provided. Dogs are not invited. You understand? You know, just
I
imagine,
understand.
Empress. You invite a set of people to come and help you, and you provide nothing for them.
In fact, you literally treat them like dog. In fact, no, I shouldn't even say that because them treat for them dog real good.
Well, so they in Afghanistan, they bring back the animal and left the people.
Isn't it a disgrace? But you see, it should also tell us who these people are. Oh, I tell you. Yeah, it's, them not a joke, I tell you. They're not jokers at all. Oh, I say.
The whole thing, sis, the whole thing about it, the strong got to help the weak.
Indeed.
The rich help the poor, the literate help help the illiterate, and if we go through life in that way, because no care how strong you are or no care how rich you are, you still have to go to the cemetery.
Indeed, you do. And as I think it's Fanny Luhama said, each one must reach one and each one must teach one. And if we follow that kind of policy, because I'm sure it was her, Fanny Luhama, she had $1 and she declared that dollar was going to build a school. And she didn't rest until she had achieved her aim of building a school, which she left the legacy of that school. In fact, I have a pledge written by her. I can't lay my hands on it at this time, but that pledge was about what we should be doing to build up and elevate each other in terms of each one reach one, each one teach one.
Ashe. And those are the things them, because as I said, sis, it's not about the quantity, it's the quality.
Indeed.
Because if it wasn't for those quality, we would not be here.
This is very true.
Understanding. In everything that you see, it take that quality. So if we continue on this quality road, it will build up momentum.
Indeed, it will. I mean, what's encouraging is seeing some of the young people. Whenever I go to Africa Bantu Saturday School and see such a lot of the young people there involved actively in the work, not sitting back and waiting for others to do. And, it really warms the heart. And especially because for me personally, having been in the community such a long time, some of them, know them from them, they are them knee, as them would I say, in Jamaica. Highly, I remember when Brother Minka used to push them in a them pram, I come a meeting, and now they're big people, some taller than me by half, and it's really a blessing to see that kind of giving back to the community and being of service to your people.
No, wonderful. That's wonderful. Saturday I went to pay respect to a young prince who mastered all his subject in primary, even university. Master them, master them, and he's listening to Galaxy when he was 6.
Excellent.
You understand? And people like Gus John, these are men that inspire him.
Indeed.
You understand? And it was cold Saturday, but I still did have to go. Because
excellent. No, that's brilliant.
If we don't support them, my sis, and that's the beauty. We have some wonderful young people out there. There's a few that get caught up. You understand? And a lot of these non-progressive young people, most of them is in these local authority
institutions. No, I agree with you.
Instances.
Yes.
And they don't know
exposure to the greatness of their own selves and their people.
That is it. And sometimes we have to question these things. They come and talk about, oh, the youth, them is that. I always ask youth, where are they from? Who are their parents? Who authority? You understand?
Indeed.
You know, because in many of these young people home, you don't have elderly people.
Indeed.
You understand, you know? So when these youth leave there and come out on the street, they have no eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And the local authority know that.
Indeed, they do.
But them use that to keep the prison pipe.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and at the same
Absolutely.
time, you know, is good, Empress, to see the journey, and you're still on the journey, and you will continue on the journey. You know,
Well, the truth is that you come here to serve, and you know, it's a responsibility that has to be taken seriously. And you know, if you can make a contribution, you should be doing it.
that is it.
Mhm. You should be
That is
doing
it.
it.
As I said, come here for drink milk. You know, come here for count cow.
Indeed, you know the one. I tell you, all people can make up something, boy. I tell you.
Yeah, and it's real, and you can see it. Because when you hear them say things, and when you go to Africa and hear the African, you realize they're the same thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Same look, you know, because it's one thing, our people never give us no long sentence.
That's
To
right.
say that.
And you get the gist of it quick.
You understand? In no time, you get it. You understand?
Absolutely.
And without those things, because we are the one that gurgitating these things today.
Indeed.
Because we see the benefit of it.
That's
You
right.
understand? And those that coming after will see it, because as you said, I've seen some wonderful, progressive. I don't see positive young people. I see progressive.
They are indeed. They are.
Because this word positive never come in our mouth until we start going school. You know. My mother always said, "Boy, you're out of order,
Indeed.
and I'm gonna lick your ass back in order." And that is what we need to do, my Empress. From we get in order, it will work. But the
I
reason why the
agree 100%.
working, we are out of order. Too much positive amongst us.
That's
We
right.
need progressive people, like you. Wonderful over the years.
We do need to get back in order. I agree. In our own order.
In our own order.
Yes.
In our own order. You understand? You know, because without that, because without principle and discipline, we're powerless.
Totally.
Powerless masses. You understand? You know?
Are we to finish now? It's just after 11. Not 11:10, just after 10.
Yeah. Well, masses. You can say your final words.
Yes. Well, you know, Sister Shanice, we're sorry you've had all this trouble. We hope we've been able to deliver a good service to the community, and for the community to understand that education is the key to our liberation, but we need proper, good food education from our real warriors. And we need to get online, access their information, study it so we may learn so we may teach. All power to African people.
Ashe, Empress Nzinga, I never know that the both of us will be here talking. I'm telling you.
We'll hold the fort tonight.
It's a disappointment, a blessing.
That is very true.
So,
well, great to see you, and you keep strong.
Anna, on behalf of Sister Shanice and the whole Galaxy Massive, all the time.
One love.
Family.
Have a great night.
And you too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I don't know if you can hear me, family, but sincere apologies for the way that tonight went without me. But hey, what a great show. What an absolutely fantastic, bombastic show that Dr. Abu and Queen Nzinga did in my absence. So thank you so much. Internet challenges kept me out tonight. Was trying all night to get in. You're probably not even hearing my babbling right now, but just in to sign off. More love, more power, more voodoo.